In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called MagicAssistant, which, as it shows on my screen, is going to allow you to power WordPress with deep AI integration. Before we poke around the website here a bit and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free partner membership. And we thank Magic Plugins, the team behind Magic Assistant, for being a partner. If you like what you see in this video, go over to our site, find the deals area, do a search for this plugin, and grab the exclusive deal. Okay, so the website we are looking at today is magicplugins.io. Once you're there, just go up under the navigation, hover over products, and then click on Magic Assistant, which brings us where we are right now. And what I want to do is I want to rattle off all of the features before we get started so I don't miss any. And then also I want to look for key pages like an about page, a changelog, documentation, things of that nature. So let's just start up here in the header area navigation and just see what we can find. We see the about page is there. So let's go there. Under resources, we're going to pull up the roadmap, the changelog, and the documentation. So conveniently, everything is right there for us, the things that I'm looking for. So here we have the about page. So we have faces and names, a bit about the company. So very good. Good to see that. Here we have the roadmap. We're going to toggle over to Magic Assistant. And here we see what's planned and some things that are in progress. So that's good. Here we have the changelog. Again, let's click into Magic Assistant. We have a beautiful changelog. Not only do we have version numbers, but we have dates, which I love to see. So a very, very nice changelog. Next up, we have the documentation. So here we have general help. So that's like with issues with your account. We have Magic Checklist, and then we have WordPress. So I'm not seeing anything specific for Magic Assistant, but maybe that's coming in the future. Let's do a search here for Magic Assistant. Okay, it looks like there's some stuff here. It's just there's a bit of a styling issue. So Christian, if you're watching this, this is just something you'll obviously want to take a look at. Okay, so it looks like as far as documentation goes, we may be flying a little bit blind here. Let's click into one of these links. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Maybe he's working on that. So let's just close all this down. And let's go ahead and check this out. So I've got the plugin installed and activated. I put the license key in there. And also, one thing I forgot, which we'll look at, is I put in my OpenAI API key. I went ahead and did that before hitting record, but we'll see where you put that in. But that brings me to a point. I didn't cover the features. So moving on down here, I think the use cases, this is what I read before hitting record. I think this is basically going to cover the feature. So you can run an SEO audit. You can rephrase old and create new content. You can do security and debugging steps. You can also chat with AI on any page or post. It's going to help you analyze your content, suggest new content, and things of that nature. So you can do all kinds of things with this. This is just a high-level introduction to the features. So let's just go check it out together firsthand and see what it can do. Let's just start in the top menu item here, the dashboard, and then we're just going to work our way down. So here we see a nice overview of cost, usage summary, AI performance. We have some quick actions. So this is kind of a nice breakdown of the features. So we can do an SEO analysis, security scan, write a blog post, view analytics, generate meta tags, check vulnerabilities, write product descriptions, and then of course we've got settings. We have a nice recent activity section here. We can also quickly start our first conversation if we want. Moving on down to AI Assistant, we have a settings option here. Let's go in here. So we can enable custom system messages. So what this is saying is if you want to add something like you are a helpful WordPress expert who always provides detailed explanations with code examples, you could inject that in there like as a global setting. So anytime you go to use the AI assistant, it's going to pull from that And then likewise, if you want to bring files, like maybe documents that help describe yourself or your company, you can pull those in and let the AI learn from that material. Here we have the option to view the history, and then you can share whatever you come up with other people. By default, it's in agent mode. There's also an option to go to chat mode and content mode. So depending on what you want to do, you could switch the mode. On the SEO tab, we can run SEO analytics or look at their SEO analytics, our site analysis, and also do a page speed insights analysis. What's nice here that I'm seeing is that we can actually run this and we can also load sample data. Okay, so that's really, really cool. We're going to poke around with these here in a bit. Under security, same thing. We can load sample data and then run that security analysis. Under analytics, we can see all of our conversations, our API requests, used tokens, our total cost. Under performance, we can see some metrics there, like average response time, for example. And then we have a usage breakdown, messages per session, cost per session, that sort of stuff. We also have a settings option here. Before we get into that, I just noticed there's a dark mode option, which is my preference. So I'm going to toggle that on. All right, now let's go dive through into the settings. Here's where your license key is going to go. Okay, I've already done that. Under settings, under the general tab, and here we can also go from light to dark. We can show tips throughout this product if we want. We will leave that on by default. Complete data removal, it doesn't do that by default. So if you happen to use this plugin, uninstall it, you're going to have to go into your database to clean up the tables. So here's a pro tip. If you forget to toggle this on, so the plugin cleans up after itself after removal, if you forget to toggle that on, you can always go back later, install the plugin again, toggle this on, remove it, and it will clean up after itself. So that's better than having to go through and manually clean up your database tables. Alrighty. So that is that. Down here, we have the option for some emergency debug viewing. So if you're having some potential issues and you need to debug, you can toggle that on. We're going to leave it off. Down here, you have tour management. So if you want to have MagicAssistant walk you through the various features of this product, you could do that. I'm just going to dismiss all of the tours. There we go, and save changes. Okay, that's the general tab. Let's go over to AI configuration. We can choose AI providers, OpenAI, Anthropic Claude, Open Router, which has multiple providers. We're just going to use OpenAI. You have, under OpenAI, you have different configurations you can choose. I'm just going to go with the defaults. Here you can put in your API key. I've already done that. Let's go ahead and move on. Agent mode configuration. When agent mode is enabled, the AI can perform multiple tool calls in sequence to complete complex multi-step tasks. This allows handling of requests like create 3 blog posts and add them to a category in a single conversation. Okay, but you can choose between agent mode and chat mode. You can set the number of iterations, which is the maximum number of reasoning/tool execution cycles per request. Going to leave the defaults. They have a nice breakdown here of how the AI agent mode works. Down here, we have the MCP, Model Context Protocol. It's enabled by default, so this is going to be used with WordPress actions. Down here, you have operation permissions. So create operations, update operations. You can run a SQL query under read only. You can do full SQL read and delete, which, as he says here, which is right, that's dangerous. You can also run delete operations. Okay, we're going to just go with the defaults here. Response and context limits, fine-tune token usage. So we have a max here set of 1,500 tokens. This is for a single reply. So you're saying when you run that single reply, let's limit that token usage to 1,500. And then how many previous messages are sent with each request? Default 20. So we're going to run with the defaults there. Real-time streaming beta. Enable real-time response streaming. Shows AI responses as they are generated word by word, applies to all chat interfaces and content generation. So that is not on by default. We're going to leave that off. Down here, again, we have some more debugging options. We're going to leave that off as well. Let's move over to the SEO configuration. Target audience. You can do global or a specific region. We will go with global. Language, we'll go with my language, which is English. It's the default. If you want to set up some target keywords, you can do that, and they give you a little bit of best practices and tips here. We're going to leave that out. Again, high-level introduction here. That's all we're doing. Not a full tutorial. Competitor analysis, if you want to do that, you can put in the domain names of your competitors here and run that analysis, and they give you some tips about that as well. We're not going to do that either. Let's go to floating chat. What is this? Floating chat widget. When enabled, a floating chat button appears on your website, allowing visitors, that's interesting, visitors to interact with the AI assistant. The chat provides the same functionality as the admin interface, but is accessible to site visitors. So that is actually on by default. Let's look at that on the front end. Okay, here it is down here in the bottom right. Click on that little chat window. Here we go. All right, so we're definitely going to want to check that out. Okay, moving on down. Obviously, if you don't want your users and customers and whatnot, visitors of your site to do that, you can just toggle that off. Once you do that, you see a lot of settings get kind of cleared up there. But here we go. Display conditions. This is nice. Show everywhere. Display the floating chat on all pages, front end and admin. Front end only, admin only area. Logged in users only. That's interesting. The tip, the front end only is recommended if you want to provide customer support via the floating chat to logged on users only. That is really, really cool. So this is good for member sites where you want to restrict access to the AI agent. Okay, then you have customizations. So the color of it, the icon that's used. You can set the actual hard-coded hex color for the color. You can put in, looks like, your own SVGs and whatever else, and images to style this even further. So maybe you want to put your own custom icon in there. And then live preview. Cool. This is really cool. So it shows you what this is going to look like. Very, very cool. Super, super cool. All right. So I don't think we made any changes. So we're just going to go to the last tab here, and then we're going to check out the solution. Shared conversations. We saw that share button earlier. So this is basically a dashboard that shows what we've shared. Manage your publicly shared conversation links. So those will appear right here. Okay, I think we are ready to check this out. Let's go to, where do we want to go? Let's go AI Assistant. No. I want to run some of these. Here we go. This is what I wanted, some of these quick actions. Let's run this SEO analysis. Let our AI analyze your website's SEO performance, keyword rankings, and so on and so forth. Explore the SEO analytics interface with sample data. So I'm going to load sample data first because this is just a test site. It doesn't really have any SEO stuff going on. So let's just load that. And this is what you can expect to see. Once, average position, organic traffic, keywords, SEO scores, keyword rankings, competitor analysis, keyword analysis, all that typical, that valuable SEO information. Need to refresh SEO insights. Get the latest SEO analysis and recommendations. Okay, so you can refresh this at any time and run an update. Let's go to site analysis. Same thing. Let's just load sample data. All right, so then we get meta scores, schema scores, open graph scores, overall scores, priority recommendations that you can work through, meta tags analysis, structured data analysis, open graph analysis, canonical URLs analysis. This is super, super cool. Sitemap analysis. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's go to page speed insights, load sample data here as well. So you're going to get your performance scores, your accessibility scores, best practices scores, SEO scores, core web vitals information. They give you some nice information explaining what that all means, all those measurements mean, areas for improvement, performance opportunities, action plans. So cool. So cool. All right, let's go over to security. And let's load sample data here. So you get a security score. They tell you how many critical issues you have. You can view the details of those. So here we have a files permissions issue, and we gives you the risk, and also you can view within the report. Tells you the exact file that's a potential risk. Header score, last scan details, security configuration audits, a warning here on the admin user, which is set by default to admin. Consider renaming it. So that's cool. So you get like some security tips. WordPress core integrity, file permissions analysis, HTTP security headers, word fence vulnerability scan. Okay, so you can start a scan right here. There's also a nice little security checklist that he gives you. Let's go back here. I'm not quite sure what that was supposed to do. Here we go. Security checklist. Let's start a security scan. Start AI security scan. Hello, I'm your WordPress AI assistant. I can help you create content. Okay. Okay, so right here, you see down here in the bottom, it prompted already. It dropped that prompt in for us. Please scan my WordPress site for security vulnerabilities using the WordPress database. Check all active plugins and themes for known vulnerabilities. Provide me a detailed report with recommended actions. All right, let's go. Again, we're in agent mode by default. We read earlier what that's for. So, in this case, being in chat mode is probably going to work just as well, and possibly even better. I'm not really sure. I'd have to dive in further to see are there benefits to using the chat versus the agent mode as far as like API usage and whatnot. Rate limit exceeded. Interesting. So what if we switch this over to chat mode? And I'm on the free Chat GPT. I created a free account with OpenAI just for the InfluenceWP sandbox site. So it could be some limitations that I'm hitting over there. So let's go ahead and run this. And you also see down here at the bottom, you can create, add custom files, create custom files, upload files, and then enable web search so that it can go out there and find information on the web to support what it is you're trying to do here with the AI. All right, let's try to run this under chat mode. Yeah, one more time. I have a free OpenAI API key setup going on. So that's probably what's going on. You'd probably want to come in here with a pro account because you're going to get rate limited, you're going to hit credit limits, all that type of thing. So I'm confident that's what's going on here. Let's go over to, we did the SEO analysis, analytics, I should say, site analysis, page speed insights. This is, again, just a high level overview of what you're going to, what's possible, what you're going to see, all the valuable information you're going to get in here. Here's the analytics again. So what I want to check out here is, let's go to our dashboard. Hopefully I can show something here. Maybe we can write a blog post. Yeah, let's try running a blog post here. And okay, agent mode, that's what we want here. And then it gives us the prompt. I want to create a high quality blog post for my website. Please help me with, can you resize this window? Yeah, you can resize the window. So help me with the topic, target audience, and it's going to prompt you some questions. So all kinds of stuff here. It built that prompt for us. Let's go ahead and just run this. You can see this better. I want to create a high quality blog post for my website. Please help me with, and they give you all that stuff again we just talked about. Great. Let's start with your first blog post. First, could you please tell me the topic of the subject you want to be? Okay. WordPress product creators. Thanks. Could you now please specify the tone you would like for the blog post? I'll just say professional. What length would you like? I'm going to go let's go just for brevity here. I'm just going to go 500 words. Okay, Magic Assistant has now given us this. This is a summary of what it will create for us. The topic, WordPress product creators, our target audience is product creators. Tone is professional. We're going to write between 500 and 800 words. And then it runs down what all it's going to provide. SEO optimized title, compelling introductions, well-structured body and subheadings, and CTA, and so on and so forth. So they're giving you a preview of what you're going to get. And now what? Now what are we supposed to do? Here's the debugs. If you need to debug something, it's got that in there. Okay, here it is at the very bottom. Would you like me to help you publish this post or assist with SEO meta tags and social media snippets? Wow, that's really, really cool. I'm just going to say, please publish. Okay, Magic Assistant came back and said, your blog post titled yada, yada, yada has been posted. You can view it here. And then you can do, if you need to do further things, you can just start chatting with the AI as you normally would if you've used AI before. So let's go over to our posts. Here we go. This is our post that it created. Let's just view this on the front end. There we go. There we go. You see the dates 2024 in there? That's something, things like that. You don't want to take what it spits out and just roll with it. You want to do, you definitely want to look over what comes out of AI and make sure it sounds like you. Edit, add more information, take out information that you don't want in there, but don't just take the AI and information and run with it. You have to do more work. But that's a huge time saver. I mean, that was just a small article. Imagine if we wanted it to spit out like a 2,000 word article. You could see the time savings there. But I could have said things had I known. I could have said, okay, let's use 2025 in there. Make sure the dates are right, or don't use M dashes, or whatever it is that you want to give the AI to help it. It's your assistant, right? All right, let's go back to the AI assistant dashboard. Okay, so I think we pretty much covered most of this. We've looked at some sample data for the SEO analysis, the security scan. We've written a blog post. Analytics, I believe we already looked at that. But here you can see now that we've done some stuff, you can see how that's starting to populate here. You can see the token usage. Okay, let's go generate meta tags. Okay, so it dropped that prompt in for us. Okay, we'll skip that. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to try to create those for us. And then we can then plug that into our document, into the meta areas, like maybe use an SEO plugin. You've got the meta boxes. You can plug that in. Check vulnerabilities. Let's go ahead and run this one. I think this would be fun. All right. Please perform a comprehensive security vulnerability check for my WordPress website. I need plugin security audit, theme audit. Okay, so this is my API key. I need to get that paid one in there. That's to be expected. This isn't a problem with Magic Assistant. You're gonna want that API key that it gives you enough credits and the rate limiting and all of that. Operating free here, it's just not realistic. All right, let's go to product description. I need help creating a compelling product description that converts visitors into customers. Please help me with. All right, let's run it. Product name, product category, key features, and so on and so forth. Okay, I hit it again. So I wish I would have upgraded to Pro before doing this just to better show this off. But I think you guys understand how this works, which is the main goal of this video. This is a super, super slick plugin, and I am 1000% going to use this. I'm good. Right after this video, I'm going to go upgrade the InfluenceWP API key to a paid version, and really start using this. But I think we've covered it all. Oh, the floating chat. Let's look at that real quick, and I'll get you guys out of here. So here's the floating chat widget again. Let's click on that. Imagine you are a visitor. Um, what would you type here? Please help me find a, you know what, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go back to the home page. Let's go just a random page. Here we go. Please help me find content about WordPress product creators. Now, what I'm hoping and thinking is going to happen once I run this, it's going to take us to that blog post we just created with Magic Assistant. So let's try this out. So I got the rate limit again. So dang, I wish I would have signed up for the paid version, and I don't want to go sign up for it right now during this video just because it would take time. I could pause the video, but you get the idea. I'll do it after this video. But you get the idea of what this is. I hope I've done it justice. But we've just barely scratched the surface of the power of what this thing can do. Again, if you like what you see in this video, influencewp.com/deals. Do a search for Magic Assistant and grab that exclusive generous offer from the team over at Magic Plugins. And I will catch you all in the next video.